to the 2022 Exeter Junior High School Holiday Concert. Tonight is the 8th grade performance. Last year we were combined. We're separating this year. And tonight our 8th graders, our upperclassmen from the junior high school, are going to show you everything they've learned from the time they first picked up their instruments or started singing, belting out some notes, and they're going to put it all out there for you tonight, and I'm so excited about it. A couple of housekeeping items, restrooms. The restrooms that are open are not the ones that are just outside the door. That would make too much sense. You would have to go out in the hallway, take the little steps. Ladies, when you get to the payphone, yes, there's a payphone out there. Children, you have no idea what that is. But when you get to the payphone, ladies, make a right. Your restroom is there. Gentlemen, keep going straight for a couple more feet. You'll run into your restroom. Also, this is a live performance. We're here to see a live performance, not that is miniature inside of a cell phone. So if you are wanting to take some video, please be courteous of the people behind you and make sure that they can see their children performing on this stage. And tonight we're going to start the performances with the orchestra, followed by the band, and ended by the chorus. And there might be a special performance at the end. I don't know, that's what the rumor is. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough of me. I want to introduce Mr. Albright and the Junior High School 8th grade orchestra.
to the 8th grade winter concert. My name is Mr. Albright, and I teach orchestra at the 8th grade junior high and at the senior high as well. And so I get the distinct privilege of working with these students, and not only seeing them at the junior high, but also seeing them all the way up through the senior high school as well. The first piece we performed for you was Inverno, and you might have recognized some of the tunes there. It's actually from the Four Seasons, which was composed back in the 1600s by Antonio Vivaldi, who was a Baroque composer. He was also a violinist. And if you're familiar with the original piece, there's a really prominent violin solo that's in that movement of works. This one was particularly from winter, so he did spring, summer, fall, and winter. And those were some themes from the concerto, which was titled Winter. And so you heard a lot of fast 16th notes and some melodies that were all the way throughout all the different instruments. So a really great piece to learn some ensemble work, and also a good piece for each one of the instrument groups to have a little bit of the melody as well. We're going to slow things down for our second piece. It's called Evening Prayer. It's by Engelbert Humperdinck, who was a Romantic era composer and actually wrote an opera based on the fairy tale Hansel and Gretel. And so this is one of the songs from that opera. It's arranged for string orchestra. We're going to follow that up very quickly with a fast-moving piece called Hopak. It's a traditional Ukrainian dance, and we actually watched, some of the students I had watch a performance of a traditional Ukrainian dance troupe performing this dance, and Hopak actually means jump. And so you're going to hear a lot of fast rhythms and offbeat rhythms, and you can imagine folks on stage dancing, jumping around. We're not going to dance for you, but you can imagine that while we're playing it. So here is Evening Prayer, followed by Hopak. That was Hopac. Our final piece, before I get to our final piece, it's no surprise that this group of individuals behind me are very, very talented, and that comes from the support we have from our administration to allow us to do music in our schools and have orchestra, bands, chorus every day, and be able to work with these students in a detailed way. It also comes from you, the parents, and your support, so I want to thank you for supporting music education at Exeter. And this, I can say, without a doubt, is one of, if not the most talented group of 8th grade students as a whole that I've worked with in my career. And hopefully you can see that from the musicality that they play with, and how they're following, and how they are playing confidently. And so it's a real pleasure to work. So you have a great bunch of students behind you, not only here in orchestra, in band, and in chorus to close out the concert. To close out our portion of the concert, we've gone from classical to kind of contemporary, and now we're going to kind of end with a kind of a modulation of a piece, I guess you could say. So this is called GPS, and it requires a little bit of explanation. So it's based on the piece by Mozart called Eine kleine Nachtmusik, a little night music. And no doubt you'll recognize some of the melodies that are in this piece. But it has a little bit of a twist, and there's a narration part, and it's supposed to mimic one of those old Garmin GPSs that you hardly use anymore, and that had the old recalculating, and you would kind of have it on your dashboard, and you have to plug it into the cigarette lighter at the bottom. Now we just kind of use our phones. But this piece is supposed to mimic that, and so I'm not going to spoil too much, but we have a very special narrator who's wearing a very fancy suit this evening. I can think of no better narrator than our very own Mr. Brown for something like this. So please enjoy GPS, based on a very serious piece, but with a nice, fun twist to end the night. If I don't see you after the concert, I wish everybody a safe and happy, healthy holiday season. Thank you for coming out this evening. Mr. Brown, where are you?
Begin by heading north in the key of G major. You are on the fastest route. You should reach your destination in 96 measures. Left onto Viola Avenue. Turn right onto Cello Street. Stay in the left lane and crescendo. Continue straight in D major. Turn right onto Bass Boulevard. At the next entrance, play forte. Measures, take the second ending. Take the second ending. Any traffic ahead, prepare to slow down. Head south in the key of C major. Recalculating. Make a U-turn. Merge together and play in unison. Play pizzicato. Stand up and play. Stand on one foot. Sing your part. On second thought, please do not sing. Sit down and play the legato for 4 measures. Use the next exit to take the coda. You have reached your destination.
Mr. Fleckenbill. Welcome to the band portion of the concert. The first piece you heard was called Astro Variations. It had a lot of different parts where you could hear highlights different from different sections of the band. And now we're going to take things in a completely different direction. We are going to go back to a jazz standard called Pennsylvania 65000. This piece was originally recorded by the Glenn Miller Band. The title, Pennsylvania 65000, actually was a phone number, not in Pennsylvania, but in New York City, to a club that Glenn Miller and his band always liked to attend. It was the phone number. So you'll be hearing that phone number spoken quite loud here. We have a special guest conductor for this song. It's Mr. Robbie Toffarello. He's back here in the trumpet section right now. He'll be coming up and doing. Robbie is a senior right now here at the high school. He is a cooperating student, which means he's able to come down and spend every first and second period with me and the 8th grade band and 7th grade band because he's considering pursuing a career in music. So he's getting the first-hand experience to see what it's like down here. I will also say, on a side note, that this past Saturday, there was district band auditions. District band is a 5-county-wide audition process that Robbie took part in, and he placed #1 out of every percussionist in a 5-county area. So congratulations, Robbie. So basically, we have a superstar conducting this next song for you. And while I am bragging about our students, which I am always glad to do, we had a very exceptional thing happen with district band auditions as well. District band is generally seen as a high school thing that 9th through 12th graders do. It's very difficult for any student to make this. Again, these are students from all across 5 counties. We had 2 8th graders in this band decide to try to audition for that group. And it's very exciting to say, and believe me, I take 0 credit for this, that 2 of the 2 students that tried out both made the band. One is Miss Jillian Crotty on French horn. So that's superstar number 2, and superstar number 3, also placing first chair in the entire 5-county area, is Grace Campling on bass. This is definitely an exceptional experience. Out of my, I can't believe I'm saying this, out of my 18 years of teaching here at Exeter, I have had 1 other 8th grade student make this band in all the 8th grade, in my 18 years of teaching here. So the fact that now we have 2, as well as Robbie, and also we have another student, Nathan Bayer, in the high school also made the band too. So Exeter is going to be greatly represented at this band, and it just goes to show the great music education that goes here. Again, not me taking credit. From kindergarten all the way through high school, we really do have an exceptional music program here. So congratulations to these students, congratulations to their parents. I know how much work it is to put in to do these things. So that's great. Now, on for more playing. Robbie, get up here. I get to play the trumpet on this song, so that's exciting. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna go a little off script for this next one. So in the fall, we had a great opportunity to join the high school band on the field for a football game. The idea behind this is, of course, these students are in 8th grade and they're gonna be preparing to go to high school soon enough. I'm sure surprising to many of your parents already that these guys are gonna be going into high school soon. But we wanted to give them a little bit of the high school marching band experience so they can see what it's gonna be like for next year. So one of the songs that the high school band tends to like to play quite a bit is a song that we decided to play with them, and the students enjoyed playing it, so we're gonna play it right now. This is Seven Nation Army. All right, you can start bringing them up, Mrs. Crotty. All right, so for this next piece, we are going to do a very traditional holiday song, probably one of my favorite holiday songs. This is a great song by the composer Leroy Anderson. Leroy Anderson was a very prolific American composer. Obviously, we're getting some people joining us up on stage here. A very prolific composer, wrote a lot of light orchestra music, but by far his most famous piece is called Sleigh Ride. I think all of you will probably recognize this and heard it from time to time. This song sometimes is done as just a straight instrumental piece, but it does have a choral part too with lyrics. So Mrs. Crotty and I thought this would be a great time to combine the two groups together. So that's why the 8th grade chorus is coming up to join us before they're part of the show. They'll be performing this one with us. Now, I will say, if you note in the program, we do have a full soloist in this performance. And this is a big deal. If you know anything about Sleigh Ride, One of the things that Leroy Anderson always did in a lot of his music was he added little musical or sound gimmicks in. One of his songs he wrote where one of the percussionists performed the entire song using a typewriter. He has another song called The Syncopated Clock, which is supposed to sound like the ticking of a clock. Well, in Sleigh Ride, this is supposed to sound like a traditional sleigh ride, including the clip-clopping of horses that you will hear performed by Aiden on the woodblock back there. Wave, there we go, he's gonna be our horse back there. But definitely the most famous part is performed using, in the musical term, what is called a slapstick. A slapstick, which is, I've created our own for this performance. It is two pieces of 2x4 held together by a hinge that one of our percussionists gets to slap together to simulate the sound of a whip for a horse-drawn carriage. The audition process for this performance was very, very contentious, but luckily Mackenzie Speary is the one who will be performing the whip. I know that one of our other percussionists was a little unhappy with that, so I guess we'll just see what happens here. Here we go, Sleigh Ride. Sorry, Mrs. Crotty's not ready.
I had to move your.
One more hand for our wonderful slapstick artists over here. Mackenzie and Caitlin Ryder, great job. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Give us 1 second to get reset, and then the chorus will be ready to perform their portion. Thank you very much.
Socrati, and I am the chorus director. I had your students in 7th grade, and if you haven't noticed, we doubled in size in a year. So last year, in the spring, we were 70 members. This year, winter time, we are at 140. So it's been crazy in class. You've heard, probably true. The other nice thing that I'm going to kind of reiterate what Kyle and Micah have said about living and working and doing music in Exeter. It is extremely rich here in our musical history and what we're able to accomplish with your students. Vocally, it's no different. When you heard us last year in the winter time, we were singing 2-part music, and I teased that it's coming because we're going to hear more manly voices as we continue through junior high. And then in the spring, it was there for like 1 or 2 songs. Now we're here, we're solid in 3-part music, and in this next piece, we branch into 4-part music. By the spring, with this group, I fully expect to be 4-part music and heading right into high school material, because a lot of what we're performing today is. So that first piece, Bethlehemu, is a Nigerian Christmas carol. And the second piece that we're going to do is Ocho Kandalikas, and that is a piece, the language is very close to Hebrew, it's Ladino, and it is celebrating Hanukkah inside of Yugoslavia. And the composer of the piece wrote it as one of their parties that would take place during Hanukkah. I'm sure they haven't fully connected it, but the party was actually a matchmaking party where they would send all the kids to play, and then all the parents gathered around and paired the children off to see what was going to happen down the road. So this piece, Ocho Kandalikas, really features our guys, and you'll hear coming from the basses, and then da-dum-dum-da-dum-da-dum coming from the tenors, and the fact that we can separate the guys like that is just amazing. So we're also going to feature Eddie and Brennan on our guitars, and here we go. one more piece this evening, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. This one is in 5/4 time, so it's a little bit more on the jazz side of things. We are, again, just working to get those harmonies in place, especially solid in our men's section, so that they are starting to get that independence and not relying on the soprano-alto part quite as much. It's very difficult to do, especially in the midst of a changing voice. We do want to thank you for coming out this evening. We are having a wonderful time in school. We are so excited to be doing the music that we are doing because these 8th grade class, and I've watched them since they were 3rd grade, coming up in all of their concerts, but we have been excited about this 8th grade class because of how extremely talented they are, how nice they are, how respectful they are, and the spring just gets better because we get to take our show on the road. So please be watching for all kinds of emails from us. As soon as we finish our last piece, we do have one extra surprise for our students and the parents here tonight, so make sure you don't leave quite yet.
All right, give it up one more time for the chorus. Before we end this evening, I need to give a shout out to the teachers all involved behind the scenes. I think everybody knows Mrs. Crowdy. When you talk about Berks County music, Even when I was in Reading, I knew Mrs. Crotty. She's phenomenal, all the work that she does. I don't even know how she's human. When I find out she leaves her schoolwork during the day, then she's going to perform at Glicks last night, all kinds of other stuff. So please give it up to Mrs. Crotty. Mr. Albright not only takes care of business at the junior high school with the orchestra, but he comes up here after he's done in the morning to help out the orchestra here at the high school. So give it up for Mr. Albright. Mr. Luckenbill. You out there somewhere, Mr. Luckenbill? He's got, oh yeah, he's got the radio voice. Mr. Luckenbill out here. And parents, you drop your kids off every morning. Well, put them on the bus in most cases. Sometimes with a smile, sometimes not. But you trust us to give your kids not only a great academic education, but to make them great musicians. So give it up for yourself for everything you've done to support them and encourage them to use their talent for good. Now, I did mention that there's a little extra bonus this evening. The kids don't know that they are a part of this extra bonus, so I need to tell them what their assignment is. Now, kids, pretend this is the cafeteria and you don't have permission to do this, but when the music starts playing, your job is to go down, fill those aisles, fill the pit down here, and dance and have a good time. Get people out of their seats. Band kids, orchestra kids, you guys do the same thing. We're gonna end this evening with my favorite Christmas song, coming from Stevie Wonder himself, What Christmas Means to Me. You guys ready? Are you ready? When that music drops, get on down there and cut the rug. Let's go!